G'day guys, and welcome to our tips for the final series, week one of the finals with myself and Shorty. So we'll move on to the first game, and we've got the Western Bulldogs up against the West Coast Eagles at Domain Stadium on the Thursday, which will be next Thursday. What do you reckon, mate?
Yeah, no, it's a very interesting game, this one, and not an easy one to tip. I suppose West Coast have come in at some really good form, which makes it hard to go past them. But, I think the Dogs aren't without a chance. Certainly, if Stringer were to come back and have an influence, then they'd be a chance. But I think purely on the form they've been producing, you'd have to go West Coast. I'll tip the Eagles by 24 points, but I just reckon, if the Dogs get back a few, and, if they had a better run with injuries and had a few games with the guys like Liver and Stevens and whatnot, I think they'd be a bit better of a chance, but a bit of a tall order over there, I think.
Definitely, mate. Definitely go the Eagles on this one. I'm going to tip them by 27 points. I'm going to make it my game changer at the line. I think the Eagles will be doing this pretty comfortably. The Dogs were pretty poor against the Dockers last week, and I did mention their poor record away from home, and particularly over Domain Stadium. And albeit the Dockers had Matthew Pavis to play for, and the Dogs probably didn't have anything to play for, but I just reckon the Eagles' pressure the last 2 weeks, their defence has been amazing, and their ball movement's been really good, and over there in a pretty rowdy crowd, they're going to be near on impossible to beat.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're taking something almighty. But, mate, we move on to the Cats and the Hawks at the MCG Friday night. It is going to be an amazing clash. We can't wait for it. I'm already excited. I want to walk to the G right now. It's going to be a fantastic clash, this one.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. It's going to be huge. Got the tickets today, which is good to hear. And
brilliant.
We'll be getting along to that, which will be one of the highlights of the year if we win. But I'm going to tip along. I think you can obviously catch more of our thoughts when we do a preview to this, probably next week or something.
Yep.
We'll go fairly in depth with that, I'd imagine. But I just think it's more so in Geelong's hands with our firepower, and I think we're better on paper. But the concern, which we'll talk about, is obviously Hawthorn. They are what they are. They're a side that plays their best footy in finals, and their record speaks for itself.
Yeah.
It's depending whether we're ready to bring our best and knock them off, because I think our best footy will definitely get the job done.
Solid, mate. I'm going to go the Cats as well by 13 points. I just think, you look on paper, we've got a pretty good side. We're in really good form of late. We're smashing teams lately when you really look at it. The Hawks, as you said, they play their best footy in September. My main worry is the week off. We're not very good after a week off. Let's see how the Hawks go with it. But, they've probably got their worst team in finals for about 5 years, maybe even longer. So I just think, if we have a good start, I think we should win.
Yeah, let's hope so, mate.
Definitely. We've got Sydney and the Giants at ANZ Stadium. I wonder if that's going to be changed. I believe that was the only way they were going to actually get final. ANZ was playing the Giants. The Swannies dished up a big win against the Tigers last week, and the Giants did what they had to do against North and did it nicely. I haven't previewed any other teams of what they've done.
Yeah, no, this one's going to be a really intriguing clash. I guess it's what the AFL is really hoped for, is two Sydney teams and, those sides that you bring into the comp playing off in a real big game that sort of ignites rivalries and whatnot. I'm going to tip the Swans. I'll tip them by 29 points, but it's so hard to say. If it was at the SCG, you tip them without a qualm at all, but you just don't know. I think we pretty much know what we get from the Swans, but it'll just depend on the Giants. I think whether they cope with the finals atmosphere and the pressure and what comes with that. If they cope with it, well then they'll be right up there because they knocked them off early in the year, but if they succumb to that pressure, then Sydney could have an easy kill and advance to the prelim comfortably.
Yeah, no, spot on, mate. I'm going to go with the Swannies by 48 points. I think they'll do this pretty well. I reckon they're just full of seasoned campaigners that certainly live for the finals. And the Giants, their first time playing a final, so they'll be I can only see him being spooked. I'm going to see the Swans with tremendous pressure, even better effort than last week, if you can get a better effort than that. Yeah, they'll have the Giants cold. They'll be shell-shocked. I can see it panning out that way. The Giants did beat him early in the year, but that's spotless. So I'm going to go the Swans by 48. Moving on to the Crows and North Melbourne at Adelaide Oval. The Crows did a very nice favour for us last week by going down to the Eagles by 27 points, I think it was. And North Melbourne, they were, again, not very competitive. Well, they were good in the first quarter, that's about it. They've lost 9 of their last 12.
Yeah, the form couldn't be worse heading into a final, hey, mate? I mean,
nope.
It's kind of a funny one, I suppose. I mean, they're in the finals, but you could argue they're, the 12th, 13th best sort of team in form, in a way.
Yeah.
So I think this one's the easiest one to tip out of the 4 finals. I think the Crows by 64 points, mate. I reckon they'll really get a job done nice and comfortably. I mean, I know they lost the Eagles last week, and without blowing their midfield, really lacked something. But I just don't think that North Melbourne can just pull it together out of nowhere. I mean, they'll probably play Jared Wade. He gives them hope, but, there's been a commentary every week that, can North turn around, can North turn around. They haven't turned around yet. All negativity is surrounding the club of late, and I don't see it changing just because it's final time. So, Crows, easy for me.
Yeah, nice, mate. And pretty tough, too, with the exiting of the champions of the club. They're probably not very motivated to want to play well. They may play in spite of what's actually been dished up. So, with that in mind, I think the Crows will be pretty comfortable winners here, mate, by 6 goals. They play Adelaide Oval pretty well. They've only lost there twice this year, I'm pretty sure, against the Cats and also the Eagles very, very recently. Sloane's a huge inclusion. Look, the way they move the ball and the way they defend, and you can't forget their top end up forward. They can really tear it apart to most teams. They should be doing it pretty fine. But for North Melbourne, if Waite comes in, who goes out? It's I reckon you may be leaning towards Dorr. Petrie would be pretty tough to take him out.
Yeah, probably Mad Jack Dorr, I suppose. But to be honest, if I was North, I'd probably drop Petrie. I mean, it's maybe not very romantic, but I just think Dorr gives you some X factor, and you just don't know what you're going to get. Like, he's capable.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, I think Petrie is probably, his range of productivity, what he can produce, is not very good at the moment. He's either making a few contests, kicking 1 or 2, or he's doing nothing. I mean, Dorr could come out and have 4 touches, but he could come out and kick 5. So, and I think they need something like that, take a risk to win a final. But that would be my take. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I would certainly put Wade in, or at least have an eye to want him in the game, because as you said, they've got to take a risk. They're not playing well. What they've got currently now isn't working well. The execution of it, very tough. I couldn't really pick, mate, to be honest. You made a pretty good case for Dorr to stay in and Petrie to go out.
Yeah, I don't think they'll do that, though. I think it'll probably be top, but we'll wait and see.
Watch this space on the selection committee, guys. And those are our tips for the first round of the finals. And don't forget to give the video a like. Feel free to chuck in your tips as well in the comments. That'd be great. And don't forget to share it around, subscribe as well for more. That'd be brilliant. And thanks for hanging around, guys. We'll see you on the next video.